Try something for me. Right now, wherever you are, I want you to imagine a simple scenario that might reveal more than you expect. Take a moment, close your eyes, and picture this. Tomorrow morning, you simply don't show up. You don't appear where people expect you, not at work, not online, nowhere. No text messages, no social media posts, no emoji reactions, just complete digital silence. Even if your phone buzzes with incoming messages, you ignore every single one. Your device is powered down. Your front door stays locked. You are completely unreachable. You are simply gone. Not missing, not dead, just silent, as if you pressed pause on the world. Now ask yourself, honestly, painfully honestly, how many hours would pass before someone reaches out? Not because they need something from you, not because you missed a deadline, but because they genuinely felt your absence. Because the shape of their day changed when you weren't in it, like a puzzle missing a familiar piece. Who is the very first person to notice? Picture their face in your mind. And the harder question, who would be the last? That person might surprise you. This is the disappearance test, and most people are terrified to actually run it. Not because they think no one would notice, but because they're afraid of how long it would take. There's a strange kind of loneliness that doesn't look like loneliness. You can be surrounded, yet unseen. You can have a full contact list, a group chat that pings every 10 minutes, colleagues who say, let's grab lunch sometime. A family that sees you at holidays, and still, underneath all of it, this quiet suspicion. If you stopped reaching out first, the silence would be deafening, heavy proof of who truly values you. This isn't about being dramatic or fishing for sympathy. It's about uncovering a hidden emotional truth. It's about what psychologists call relational invisibility, being physically present in people's lives, but emotionally unregistered. You exist in their orbit, but you're not on their radar. You're physically in the room, but completely absent from their thoughts. The most brutal part is that most of the time you don't even realize this relational invisibility is happening to you. The world is noisy enough to cover it up. You stay busy, you stay useful, and you keep initiating contact to fill the silence. As long as you keep reaching out, everything feels fine. It's only when you stop that you see the truth. Let's break this thought experiment down. It reveals more about your relationships than you might expect. The first tier are the people who would notice your absence within hours. That's your true inner circle. For many watching this, that list of people who'd notice quickly is painfully short. For some, it's just one person. For others, the honest answer is 0. And that's a hard truth to sit with. But that isn't a personal failure. It's simply the math of modern life. We scatter and lose touch. We move cities, we change jobs, we outgrow friendships, and we rarely stop to rebuild what we've lost. The second tier, people who'd notice within a day or two. These are usually the ones who rely on you for something. Your boss, a colleague who needs your approval, a friend who's used to you being the one who plans things. Notice the pattern. They don't miss you as a person. They miss the function you perform in their lives. There's a difference, and your body knows it even if your mind hasn't caught up. The third tier, people who wouldn't notice for a week or more, maybe ever. This is where it gets uncomfortable. This tier often includes people you think about constantly, people you consider close, people you drop everything for. But the relationship only flows one direction. You're investing in a connection that exists mostly in your own mind. And then there's the last person, the one who'd notice last. Sometimes that person is someone you love. Sometimes it's someone you live with, and that's the version of this thought experiment that really haunts people. Because distance isn't always measured in miles. Sometimes the person furthest from you is sitting right next to you. If your chest feels tight, I'm not leaving you there. Let's reframe. This test doesn't measure your worth. The disappearance test reveals the architecture of your relationships, not your value. Those are entirely separate things. Your worth is inherent. Relationship patterns can be observed and reshaped. They are not the same thing. People who score low often share one trait. They're always initiating, texting first, checking in, remembering every detail. They're the ones texting first, checking in, remembering birthdays. They carry the emotional load of every connection alone. They shoulder the emotional labor of relationships like a full-time job. Over time, that effort creates a convincing illusion of connection. It feels like connection, but it's performance. You maintain the bridge so well, no one ever thinks to cross it. You've trained others to be passive, not because they're bad, but because you never let them show up for you. You made it too easy. You were so terrified of being a burden that you made yourself invisible. And invisibility feels safer than rejection. Psychologists call it initiative asymmetry. One person always initiates, the other always receives. That imbalance hollows out the connection. Eventually, the receiver stops associating the relationship with effort. They only think of you when you're standing right in front of them. It's not that they don't care. You just never created space for them to practice caring. You made forgetting you effortless. When you're the reliable one, always reading rooms and supporting others, people start seeing you as a resource, not a person. They treat you as a resource, not a person. Because you always look fine, they assume you are fine. Your strength becomes a trap. They never check on you because you seem unshakable. Your competence becomes a cage that hides your needs. Your emotional smarts turn you invisible. The better you get at reading others, the less they bother to read you. It's a lonely paradox. You're the therapist friend, the rock, the reliable one. And no one ever asks if you're okay, because you look invincible. That fear of vanishing unnoticed isn't proof you don't matter. It's proof you've been there in a way that erases your presence. So, what do you do with this? Awareness without action is just a fancier form of suffering. You need a strategy. First, the hardest step. Let some silence happen. Stop being the first to reach out. Let the quiet reveal who reaches back. Let the silence be your teacher. Not a test, not punishment, just information. See who reaches back and who drifts away. When they don't reach back, don't make it about your worth. It's about the structure, and structures can be rebuilt. Learn to make actual requests, not hints, not jokes about loneliness. Vulnerable, specific asks invite others in. Saying, "I'm struggling, can we talk?" feels terrifying for the lifelong strong one. But that sentence is a door. That one vulnerable sentence is the only one that opens the door and lets people truly see you. Be honest about one-directional ties. Some connections exist only because you do all the heavy lifting. That doesn't make the bond fake, but it makes it optional. You can choose where your energy flows. Redirect your energy to those who meet you halfway. Include yourself in the circle of people you care for. Stop confusing being needed with being known. They are worlds apart. One is function, the other is connection. Needed means they notice when you stop being useful. Known means they notice when you stop being okay. Build toward being known, even if it's just one person, someone who sees you without performance. That's everything. If the disappearance test scared you, that fear isn't a final judgment. It's a signal calling you to change. It's telling you that you poured into everyone else's cup while leaving yours empty. Time to set one out for yourself. You aren't invisible because you're unimportant. You built a life of making others comfortable, and in doing so, you vanished. But you're still here. This video landed in your chest because you already know something has to change. So don't disappear. Just stop performing. See who stays when you finally drop the act and show up as yourself. I know that ache when you scroll your contacts and realize most names haven't reached out in months. It's a lonely wait. You wonder if the version people recall is the real you, or only the useful one who always shows up. That tightness in your chest isn't weakness. It's the part of you that's been strong, finally asking for a hug. If someone's face came to mind, reach out tonight. Don't wait. Send that message now, before the feeling fades. If no one came to mind, know this: you are among many here who feel the same. You were never as invisible as you thought.